In the kitchen this morning, pomelos, pluots, along with specialty eggplants, cucumbers, and potatoes. Well, the names may scare you in the grocery store, but do not be afraid to try them. The Prince of Produce is here. Yeah, we're in the company of royalty this morning. This is Cullen from Sprouts Farmers Market. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
It has been fun to pre-interview you and talk to you about some of this wonderful produce.
Absolutely. Some stuff that's a little out of the ordinary I thought I'd share with you today.
Well, let's begin with it, because they call this what?
A pomelo. It's also known as a Chinese grapefruit.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, and that's a relatively modest-sized one. These are the modern-day ancestor to the grapefruit. They typically grow larger than that, but for retail sale, they'll normally sell in this size. As you can see by the cut one up front here, there is a lot of rind. If you feel that value isn't in just the fruit itself, let me assure you, the rind makes an excellent confectionery. Great project for the kids. You can candy the peel, cutting it into strips, and dip it in chocolate. It might not be a perfectly healthy snack, but it sure is a better way of just regular old candy bars.
Okay. Real quickly, by the way, I should never be pointing a knife around. I'll do it this way away from you. The Havana Cafe actually serves this every once in a while as a dessert.
Right on.
How do you cut this in half? Because I want to cut it in half, taste it. I'm wondering if the rind is actually kind of bitter.
Well, go right ahead. Actually, the way you're doing it gives a much better presentation. The way I've done it, I just wanted to emphasize the thickness of the rind.
Okay.
But this way you kind of get the bird's eye presentation of all the different sections. The peel in this is not terribly bitter like a normal citrus. The thick skin lends itself to being a little less tough as far as the skin goes, but again, you candy it with a little bit of sugar, and you can either just dry it out the way it is or chocolate dip it. And again, it makes a wonderful little treat to have around the house, and you're not wasting any of your pomelo.
Now, for the folks who love grapefruit and like to sprinkle maybe just a little bit of sugar on it,
you can do that, but by no means is it necessary. The pomelo, unlike a grapefruit, is sweet without anything added to it. Some folks do remove this. Yeah, isn't it good?
It's like ruby red grapefruit.
Exactly, yeah. And as a matter of fact, pomelos are used modern day as a hybrid along with various varieties of tangerines. That's how we come up with tangelos, which are seedless tangerines. It's a cross between pomelos and tangerines.
And by the way, you can put a slice of this, you say, and a little bit of tequila.
Oh, absolutely. It works.
In case that's what tickles your fancy. All right, we're going to move on to these pears.
Yes, these are Comise pears. Comise pears are available in most of the stores, but generally unknown for their very aromatic nature as well as being exceptionally flavorful. We all have our favorites. If you haven't tried a Comise, though, you'd be missing out not to give these a try. They are less grainy than some of the other varieties out there, and the flavor to them is just intensely sweet, and they're very juicy.
Ooh, yeah.
And these I basically let out at room temperature over the weekend, 2-3 days, and they were ripe and ready to go.
That is excellent.
Well, glad you're enjoying it. Excellent.
We've been talking about things to entice the kids to try something new. You've got some dinosaur eggs here.
Exactly. These are pluots, which is a plum apricot hybrid. Over the years, there's different varieties that have come about. The most popular one seems to be the Dapple Dandy, which is what I brought here today.
Okay.
A lot of times you'll find these called dinosaur eggs in the stores, and they typically are accompanied by a cute little sticker, which obviously helps get the kids interested. But the best part is, sticker aside, when the kids taste these, they're juicy, they're intensely sweet, and exceptionally good for you. The red colors you see in there, these give way to antioxidants. It's a great way to get your kids interested in things that are important for their health at that time as well as down the road.
That's excellent. All right, a hearty vegetable. Eggplant.
Eggplant, yes, and I brought a different variety than what we're normally accustomed to. This is Japanese eggplant. There's many different varieties. The Japanese eggplant lends itself well to baba ganoush as well as stuffing with meats and what have you. The versatility of the eggplant has been known to make it be called the king of vegetables in India. A lot of vegetarian diets. This is what is typically used as a meat substitute, if you will.
Right.
What you've got there in your hand, I peeled some of the eggplant, which is not necessary all the time, but to just demonstrate the gorging process or degorging process where you can keep eggplant from being too pithy when you cook it by using lemon juice and salt, rinsing after about 30 minutes, and then squeezing the juice out. Once you've done this, the flavors that you add to it will readily attach itself to the eggplant. And what I did too is I used some panko breadcrumbs. They're much lower in sodium than regular breadcrumbs, and they provide a nice crunchy texture.
One of the nice things about eggplant, if you don't know this, you might look at it in the produce section and go, what is that? It will absorb almost any flavor you actually add to it, which is wonderful. Let's talk bok choy.
Right, and what I brought here today is baby bok choy, also known as choy sum, if you're asking for it in the Asian markets. Baby bok choy is a nice alternative to regular bok choy. Regular bok choy with the very thick stems, the stem has to be cut away from the leaf and it has to be steamed and cooked longer.
But the whole thing is flavorful.
The whole thing is flavorful, and this tends to be sweeter. It's considered the heart of the bok choy, and very good for you as well. These are fingerling potatoes. As you can see, the shape kind of gives way to the name. All potatoes originated from South America, and it's thought to be from the Andes. These purple ones you see here, these are known as purple Peruvian or Peruvian potatoes. In either case, when they cook up, they have a nice lavender color in the middle. And then there's the red varieties. What I brought was a mix, and this way you can kind of get a nice presentation.
And you brought a nice presentation of some wonderful cucumbers as well. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
The Prince of Produce himself, right here on Sonoran Living Live. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
And a lot of this information will be on our website after noon today. But coming up, we're going to talk cute and comfortable shoes. It is possible. We're going to show them to you at a place right here in the Valley where you can get them.